Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Nikola's vlog. And we started the week off with a floor press. So what I'm going to do with him, he's a raw lifter, doesn't have access to a lot of equipment. So we're going to do the slightly different version of conjugate, to where we do a bit fewer on the max effort lifts, right? We're not going to do as much variation. I'm going to have him focus on about 4 upper body and 4 lower body lifts. We're going to max on them each week, take them up to a solid training max, and then we're going to do speed work and hypertrophy around that. So, not been very happy so far with the way his bench has responded. His deadlifts, we've hit really big PRs real quick lately. Squat is kind of trudged along. The bench press, we need to change things up. I've got to get him just a lot thicker overall, right? First, originally it looked like he needed more tricep as far as his bar paths go, but ultimately a lot of the grips and stuff that he's using are because of the fact that things like his chest needs more work, right? We need bigger pecs, bigger delts, things like that. So accordingly, we're taking everything over to where we're going to do pause benching. We're going to do pause incline work. We're going to use smaller exercises to build his triceps up from here. In other words, I'm not going to beat him up with JM presses. We're going to do a lot of benching, a lot of incline. We're not going to have a lot of recovery for JM presses. It's going to look quite similar to what you guys see me do. Because again, same sort of situation. He's got a big torso, got long limbs, all the things that I run into. And in a lot of ways, his bench press weak links look very similar to mine, don't they? Again, that's what we expect from long arm lifters. But that's something I have in common with tall guys like this. I have my dad's upper body and kind of my mom's lower body. So in my case, I'm not well over 6 foot tall, but I have the limbs of someone who's over 6 foot tall as far as the upper body goes. So it's the exact problem I run into. I've had to learn a lot about getting my own bench up, which you guys are seeing finally happen. So in his case, though, we're going to have to do something relatively similar. So what you're going to see here, a lot of overlap in what we have me do, right? Other than he's doing some lat pull downs and things like that. We're going to do lat pull downs and seal rows. But for all of his primary movers, what are we seeing? We're seeing this. Now, a lot of that, I may not have him do barbell rows for a while. And this is where his training differs from mine. He is stronger than me on the deadlift. Okay? He loads a lot from when we deadlift. He also doesn't have access to a lot of the equipment that I have. So what does that mean? It means we have to rely a lot more on good mornings. There's more axial loading. I can't afford to do a lot of the big, heavier free weight standing movements for his lats and upper back that I would do for myself. Right, because I have reverse hypers, I have all these things. His low back, we run into a lot of fatigue. So accordingly, all of that stuff is going to look different from mine. Okay, so here he is doing even the band press downs. Again, after we do skull crushers, we do band press downs. We want to keep his elbow tendons healthy. We've got to build that area up. Now, this week also, we had to adjust his lower body. He just had a surgery. And it wasn't particularly invasive. It's not an invasive surgery. It's more surface area. So we can't really squat. We can't squat or leg press this week. But he can pull. He can do deadlifts. He can do a lot of this other stuff. All right? He can even do speed squats, free squatting. But he can't sit on the stuff. So we can't do box squats. We can't do the leg press. But we can do all these other things, can't we? All right, so he pulled, that was 290 kilos, I believe, off of a deficit. Okay, that's real strong. Real strong. Again, well up into the mid 600s. Okay, for deficit work. Good mornings. The amount of weight he's got on the bar. He's doing sets of 10. Sets of 10 with like 160 kilos. 160 kilograms, 350 pounds. All right, we're in a good place here. We've got to keep building up his posterior chain. Now, in his case, he's not real good at wide stance squatting. Something we may need to work on because of his limb lengths. He pulls conventional, which is what we want for him. Some of those limb lengths, I got to work on that longer stance, that wider stance squatting. Something I think we could see some improvement on for him. He's got a good squat though, right? He's got a good strong squat, but I'd like to see it stronger. So we do good mornings right now. We're doing steel rows. We're taking just a little bit of a break from some of the lower body stuff. Again, while he lets all his stitches and everything heal up. Main thing is we just don't want to bust stitches back open. So here we finish up with some leg curls. And I'm not a fan of this particular leg curl variation, but we work with what we have. And that's ultimately what things come down to. A lot of the programming I do for my lifters, people will say, why does this person do this and why do they do that? Oftentimes it has to do with equipment limitations. I have certain slots I want to plug in. I have different muscles that I want to get a certain amount of total work per week. But I have to work with the equipment that they have. Okay? Whatever barbells, dumbbells, machines, whatever they have access to is what we have to program around. And as a coach, you're always going to have to do that, particularly with online clients. It's one thing if you train everyone in the same facility, like in person. It's another thing when you have clients in 8 or 9 countries. And everybody has a different gym, right? It can be a little different. Some people have well-equipped home gyms. Some people have less well-equipped home gyms. Some people are at these commercial box gyms like this. It's all they have available. Others are true strength gyms. We work around it. I'm not the biggest fan of that type of hamstring curl, if we're going to use them. But it's better than nothing until he gets stronger at those glute ham raises, as far as the device goes that he can fit in. I would rather him do the glute ham raises, but as hamstring strength goes up, we'll work on more of those. Of course, here we're doing our standing crunches. So our lower body work, still it's good mornings, seal rows, right? Got those leg curls. We got standing crunches. And then, of course, we go over into dynamic effort work for the week, which you guys can see, which will finish up the video with just the one set I got from him this week. He had some trouble with the filming, but again, still fills out the vlog, and it shows us what we're doing more or less, so I hope it has been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.